Long ago, in the quiet village of Thalwyn, there lived a young girl named Liora. She had always dreamed of adventure, but she had never left the forest paths near her home. Her parents had warned her about the dangers beyond the woods, especially the ruins of Eldara, a place no villager had entered for many years. One chilly morning, while Liora was gathering herbs, she found an old silver key hidden beneath a rock. It was strange. She had walked that path 100 times before, but she had never seen the key. It looked ancient and was covered in tiny symbols. By the time she returned home, the sky had already turned dark. Her grandmother was waiting by the fire and looked worried. Liora told her about the key, and her grandmother's face turned pale. She whispered that the key had once belonged to the guardians of Eldara, keepers of the magical mirror. Liora listened closely as her grandmother told her the story. Long ago, before the village had even been built, the mirror of Eldara had held great power. It could show the future, but only to those who had pure hearts. The last guardian had hidden it when the kingdom fell, and no one had seen it since. That night, while the village was sleeping, Liora couldn't stop thinking about the mirror. She had always felt different, as if something had been calling to her. The key had opened a door inside her mind, a door to something greater. By the next morning, she had already packed her small bag. She didn't tell anyone. As the sun was rising, she began her journey toward the ruins. The forest was quiet, and birds were singing softly in the trees. While she was walking, she remembered the old stories her father used to tell her. Stories about brave knights and hidden treasures. After walking for hours, she reached the edge of the ruins. The stones were covered in moss, and strange carvings lined the broken walls. She stepped carefully, her heart beating fast. It felt like the stones themselves were watching her. Inside the tallest tower, she found a wooden door. It was locked. But when she placed the silver key into the lock, it turned without a sound. The door creaked open and Liora stepped inside. The room was dark and cold. In the center stood the mirror of Eldara. Dust had covered its frame, but its surface still shone like water. Liora walked closer. The moment she touched it, the room lit up. She saw images, her village, her family, and then herself standing in the ruins holding the mirror. The vision faded and Liora understood. She was meant to be the next guardian. By the time she returned to Thalwyn, the village had already started to change. Flowers bloomed faster, the air felt lighter, and people smiled more often. The mirror's magic was working. She told her grandmother everything. The old woman cried softly and said, "The magic had been waiting for someone like you." Liora had never expected to become part of a legend, but the moment she had picked up the key, her path had already begun. And from that day forward, she watched over the mirror, not just as a guardian, but as the girl who had listened to the call of the past and stepped into the future.